We are here at Chateau Elan with Simone. Remember how I pronounced your name back in the day?
Simone,
I said Simon.
Yeah, much better.
Better this time.
Yeah, Simone, Biles now. Yeah. Female, male, Italian, Simone.
Simone. Yes. He's the winemaker here at Chateau Elan, one of our favorite places. We just posted about the port that we tried last night, so now we're here in the flesh with Simone.
Yeah.
And you're going to be opening something up for us.
Yeah,
what
this
is
a fairly recent bottling, and this is something very special because I haven't heard of. There must be somewhere. But I haven't heard about anybody making a straight champenoise method out of muscadine, 100% muscadine grapes. This is specifically Carlos, grown in our vineyard. And again, for the ones that don't know what champenoise method is the classic champagne style method with the making of a base wine that will pass into a second fermentation once is bottled. So there is a second fermentation happening in the bottle with the addition of the right amount of sugar and the right amount of yeast so that you can develop 6 bar, this is probably 7.5 bars of pressure inside the bottles, which is the natural carbon dioxide inside the bottle that makes the bubble. So it is the most ancestral way to make sparkling wine in the world, just naturally.
It's called Sweet Giggles.
Yep, Sweet Giggles.
Yes.
I love the name.
I love the name. I asked, and I don't take responsibility for that. I asked the marketing guy here and said, "Okay, come with a name. You know, it's going to be slightly sweet. It's not much. It's probably about 2.5. It's 1.9%. So 19 grams per liter. So it still is under the brut category.
Yeah, I was actually right when I tried it. When it said Sweet Giggles, and I'm like, oh, it's a muscadine. I thought it was going to be really sweet, but it's like not.
No.
It's got a very hint, but it reminds me of like a super dry brut with big bubbles. This is like.
Yeah, it's fun.
Really good.
Because it's
Super fun.
it's fun because again, zero sulfite.
No sulfites. Wow.
Usually, sparkling wine don't have much sulfur, but in this specific case, during the last process in making champenoise, which is the dégorgement, we didn't add any sulfur. Typically, houses or maker of sparkling wine champenoise method, if there is an additional sulfur, is that level, but we didn't. You know, I don't like to use it, and so I haven't. And there is no point, honestly. This will go very fast too, so I'm not gonna age or keep this for years, and so there is really no need of adding any sulfite. And so this one is 1.9%, 100% Carlos, 100% from here. Little residual sugar, no sulfur. And it's giggle because giggle water is what marketing guy from the south was saying that sparkling water is also called giggle water.
Giggle water, huh?
Why not Sweet Giggles?
Sweet Giggles.
I
And
think it's delicious.
it's just one of a kind.
Like
we did like 60 cases.
One thing
Really
about Simone too that we learned from the first time that we had met you, you're very innovative, and he always wants to kind of try new stuff and
Try not to be, I try to do something exciting, just to keep me interested in making. I've been making wines for so long that I need something new in order to.
That's the thing I love about you, though. Like, you're always doing.
He's a creator. Like you're always like, I gotta try the new
something.
thing, and I'm, who's doing this? Like no one's doing this kind of stuff. So.
And I mean, it's a surprise to me that still there is like the concept on muscadine wine is still very narrow of what people allow themselves to do. You can do a lot more stuff with muscadine and experiment, and so not only bringing up a little bit more the reputation on muscadine, but also showing the real life, people that taste it, like how it can vary and what kind of different experience you can have. Like champenoise, this tastes very different from the classic muscadine wine, and I don't know if you tasted the port that was done like 2016, purely muscadine, and
you did have us try that.
And that was like
amazing.
another like crazy thing, you know. And on the top of that, you know, it's not only how it tastes, but also, you know, from a winery financial standpoint, if you create other more, let's say, more complex product out of muscadine wine, you also can offer them to a different price point, as long as people react positively. That bottle of port was a 500 ml bottle of port from muscadine. We sold out probably in a month, and it was like $100 per bottle.
Wow.
You know, so you have muscadine and $100 per bottle, which is usually not happening, but as long as you find the right match and it tastes good, then, you know, muscadine becomes secondary. Is the benefit of the wine, is not a lot the feature.
Well, I love that you're showing the versatility of that.
Yeah,
Great.
that's really what this is doing. It's like highlighting the versatility of it, because it's like it shocked me when I tried it. I was like, this is not anything that I thought it was going to taste like, and it's really good.
Yeah, classic champenoise from the south. Georgia Champagne.
Cheers to that, right?
Made by an Italian.
Yes. You don't have any more in your glass.
A French name to a winery in Georgia with a winemaker, with an Italian winemaker. I mean, what a blend. These are the two, you know, fingerprints is like the top line of what I make over here, and it's usually never a given, meaning whatever that harvest is best can eventually convert into my fingerprint. So
where'd your fingerprint go?
Oh,
yeah, oh no, it's on here. It's still it's still there. I see it.
His fingerprint on there.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there. You need my thumb in order to open the bottle. Otherwise, it doesn't open. There is a safe. So there is like and the Aglianico and okay, fingerprint is obviously because we didn't put the classic winemaker.
Come a little closer.
The wine. Sorry.
No,
the winemaker signature, etc., etc. So it's a little subtle, but it's basically the top of the line that what we make. And they're very different from each other, although it's all about level of quality. And if the grapes shows up with really good potential, and if it after the aging it becomes really what I was planning on it, then goes into the tier of fingerprint. But sometimes it happens that it doesn't. So Tempranillo.
Wait, so I want to get this straight. Are you just tasting and then you're like, no fingerprint?
Well,
fingerprint.
Not that it's not immediate. It's not immediate, but most of the time it's like this. Most of the time I taste and said, okay, no, we're not, and then left it over the Roldeck, which I love.
So good.
I wasn't sure for a long time, and then I left it until
and then
one
your
day
wife
when
told you to do it.
No, no, I never listen to my wife. No, she doesn't listen to me, so I don't listen to her. But anyway, the Roldeck literally changed in the barrel.
Oh, okay.
And one day it was just blossoming, and so I said, okay, now we're talking. But I didn't know.
So cool.
So again, it's a part of another process where, you can do whatever you want, but at the end of the day, is the product that shows the potential.
Right.
Again, I love to produce Mameli every year, but not every year the Nebbiolo, the Barbera, and the Montepulciano are at the level. And so if they are not at the level, I'm not gonna make it. I'll do something else. There is a Teroldego, great. There is we crushed some Petit Syrah biodynamic. Hopefully that is becoming good. And so far so good, but we're going to bottle probably in December, and hopefully will be still at the same level. But again, it's just trying to be realistic, and also not to put in front of the product your desire. So whatever it is, accept it. If it's not good enough, it's not good enough. Use it for something else. Over there, the purpose of the fingerprint is that whenever you buy a bottle of fingerprints, the bottle might be the wine tastes different, but the level of quality is what I thought it was best. So Aglianico is also called like the Nebbiolo of the south of Italy, because it is a pretty rich grape variety with a medium level of color and polyphenols. But it does have a nice shelf life or anyway aging potential. You know, my red wine, mostly the fingerprint are unfiltered, unfined. There's a very minimal amount of sulfur. Whatever it is over there, it's probably between 0 and 10 ppm, which is nothing.
So I don't know why, but right away, like I tasted like pine. I don't know why, but I get like a, I don't know, like a forest. That
Pine,
me
but
of
like the glue of the pine. You know, the raisin, yeah.
Lovely. This is really good.
So
It's
smooth
not
on the front.
yeah, and it's easy. You find a texture. There is some tannins, but they're not incredible tannins. They are like a nice, on point. It's a classic. I don't know. It's almost like an everyday wine. You can have
good.
this one, and that's what. And to me, when we're talking about the Italian variety, I think that's where the focus has to be into the balance overall variety that had wine that is extremely approachable, even being complex but still approachable.
Yeah.
How have people received this wine?
Oh yeah, they like
Very
it.
good.
Yeah. Although, you know, again, those are one of the things that Aglianico. The majority of the people doesn't know what Aglianico means. If it's a variety, or if it's just a name, or even the pronunciation of Aglianico is difficult. So the approach to this wine is always curiosity, and so as long as the wine fits into a balance and good vibe, then it will be accepted.
So what are the common mistakes when people try to pronounce it?
Aglianico.
Aglianico.
Yeah.
And the G is silent.
Yeah, Aglianico.
Aglianico.
GL is.
It almost sounds Spanish.
Yeah. Italian and Spanish is very close.
Yeah.
So, but
It's really good, and like I don't know.
Subtle tannins.
Well, and I know I said the pine thing, but like seriously, like it's just like a rustic kind of wine to me in a way. And I lived in Colorado for a while, and I think when I got that right away, I was just like pictured myself like I went in my mind. I'm like I'm in the woods and I'm drinking this wine on at a cabin, and I'm just enjoying nature, and it's just delicious. So
yeah, there is, you know, whenever you create a wine, whatever is the character of the wine, you try to have that character being the primary descriptor of the wine taste, but then you build the wine, you're trying to build the wine so that it is also balanced. Okay, so yes, there is a spike of something that tells you that's Aglianico, but then it is supported by a very balanced base. Okay, so you can start from that, and then when you taste it, you're not offended because it's balanced, and so you can enjoy it, and then you can fly away like you did and go into the cabin because it allows you to go there because there is nothing that bothers you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
so
point, yeah.
so
Totally.
makes always try to make something easy to understand, and then build up on that.
it's got a lot
So
of
that
cranberry
people-
too.
the
It reminds me of cranberry
the
juice.
acidity is sustained as an Italian variety, and so you know it's interesting too. You see, the body is not heavy body on it,
No.
but there is something to it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's smooth
The
on the front
acidity,
end.
well, and the acidity and the tannin balance is really nice.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah, I get the cranberry a lot, and I really like that.
It's electric to me. It's electric. There is like a sort of electricity on the back. Something. Have you know when you try the battery, the one that has 2 pole? When you try, okay, there is charge,
What?
there is no charge.
What are you talking about?
When you grab a 9-volt battery and you put it on your tongue.
Why would you put a battery on your tongue?
Because you
That's a
have to.
horrible
You don't
idea.
know if
it's a
there
guy
is still
thing.
power. Yeah, I
Wait,
don't
you
know.
put it on your tongue?
Yeah, but it's the sense.
Yeah.
The
Wait, both of
feeling.
you have done
It's
this
just a
before?
sensation.
Like, no,
Many
that's
times.
not
You
good.
know what I'm talking about. Anyway.
Have you done it too?
We have kids.
Yeah, I mean, you try it.
This is a man thing, I
And what
guess.
you
I
got
don't
is
know.
like that.
It's a little sensation on
Yeah,
your
it's a
tongue.
little.
Like it just
You
gives
should
So
try.
did both of
Make
you?
her try.
Did both of you?
When you
Okay.
sleep.
No, guess what? When
When
you're
you sleep,
I
when
know
you
what
do-
else they did. When you're at the gas station, you guys probably went over and inhaled the gas.
no, that's a different thing. But it's like testing the battery. You don't know if you're putting the right battery or not. You know, you have a bulk battery. Is it, spent or is it new? Try it.
Okay.
That's
a
new
approach
that's
to wine
the feeling.
tasting.
That's the feeling. You have this
This is really good. It's delicious. Sorry.
This is a 2018 Tempranillo. Very different from the Aglianico. It shows a very different, profile. Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, delicious. So this kind of puts.
Tempranillo want to be a big guy.
This puts
punch in the face.
You know what I've noticed about Tempranillo though is that I actually do feel like the cheaper ones I've had are.
Yeah.
So there are some wines that I feel like you can't buy them cheap. There are some that you can buy cheap and they're still going to be good. Tempranillo is a grape and a wine that I feel like you can't really find that's going to be really good that's under a certain dollar amount.
But that's where, Tempranillo, Rioja appellation from Spain, and you find huge base production, which is pretty cheap from Spain. And then you find the Reserva or the Special Reserva, and when you go to the Special Reserva, then you taste Tempranillo. Tempranillo hit me first because when I started making it, it was the one that I had to leave for the longer period in the barrel to age and smooth down. Every time it was too big and and not soon enough, and so I had to wait at least 2.5, 3 years.
Wow.
It has to be there.
Yeah. So that kind of answers the question as to why.
Yeah. It just end the Tempranillo Special Reserva or Reserva by the law in Spain. They have to stay almost 6 years between aging in barrel and aging in bottle. So
I love the tannins on this.
So if you're getting a Tempranillo,
the big stuff.
if you're getting a Tempranillo, you want to get one that's aged. Is essentially what he's saying. Like, it's
and
not
the price
meant to be
point
drunk
to your point, the price point is
it's
important.
a big deal. And how long? So if you were to buy a bottle, could you age it for quite a bit of time?
It depends, because the Tempranillo that are the good one, they are already out after 6 years. So in theory, they're good.
So they're good. 6 years,
they're
you're
good to try.
Yeah.
Now, can you keep it for the other 10 years? Probably. And they will still be good? Yes, probably yes. But you can still enjoy it at that moment.
But a Barolo,
it's the same. I would say the same exactly thing. Barolo appellation oblige you for 5 years, not 6. But it's the same concept. When it's out, it's good to go. You want to keep it longer? Sure.
Well, we do get the question of people have asked us actually quite frequently, I want to buy a wine and I want to age it. What would you suggest that they do?
If you want to buy a wine and you want to age it, then you need to be informed about what you're buying, because there are some wineries that are producing wine in order to be aged, and they're putting in the bottle and release them so that you can keep them. Okay, but that's probably 5% of the production in the world. So to the collectors or to the one that wants to age wine for years, get informed on the producer. It has to be, again, aged wine. There are probably 0.5% of white wine that want to be aged in the world, and there is 5 to 6% that are older than 2 year vintage of wine produced in the world. So again, it's a very small niche of wine that want to be aged or that can be aged. Okay, so when they come here and they talk with the staff, of course, Tempranillo, Aglianico, Mameli, Malbec, overall fingerprint collection. You want to age it, keep it. Good temperature, good conditions. You can keep it. They will be good in 5, 6, 10 years. But if it's not that the purpose, then you can drink it now and it's good anyway. Because I know they are
Does your fingerprint age well though?
Oh,
so far it hasn't faded up.
Good.
So it is actually.
I mean, if I keep that for 10 years, I want the same fingerprint.
It's actually, there is a texture. So I don't think it will ever go away.
Good.